Welcome to the chapter on systems, optimize or collapse. Now, by now you've done what most will never do in their life. You got real about where you stand after divorce, where you stand in your body, in your being, in your relationships and your balance, and in your business. And also you've done something that most never do again, and that is got clear about the identity. Got clear in the false identity and the false masculinity that drove you to where you are today, to the crisis point, and got clear about what it means to live by the code and what does it mean to have healthy masculinity. But identity without structure is just hype. As soon as the crisis hits, you will forget who you were. You will forget about the code. You will forget about the crisis that you hit and where you wanted to go. Everything just collapses because your past patterns will hijack your future promises. And that's why we're here, to make your new identity and your newfound power automatic. This is where you stop rising through willpower and start rising through systems. If you would like to hear more about transformative content for divorced dads, I highly encourage you to subscribe right now so that I can deliver you exactly what you need right on your screen. Also, if you are already divorced or you're just experiencing the big challenges in your relationships, I highly encourage you to visit dadsrise.com to self-assess. Assess where you're leaking power right now, because that leakage of power prevents you from living a beautiful life. Go there right now. Before I show you how to build the right system for you to make your power clock work, let's outline the 4 main patterns and the 4 main problems that lead men like you, divorced dads, into chaos instead of into predictable future. Pattern number 1, mood-based execution. You actually execute tasks when you feel like it, and you don't execute tasks when you don't feel like it. How many times you looked at your to-do list and you knew you had to do things, and then you go, well, I kind of don't feel like it. I'm just going to postpone it until tomorrow. And that tomorrow becomes next week, and that next week becomes never. And then slowly but surely you just say, well, it's not a priority anymore. You just scratch that off the list. And eventually your life becomes chaos again, and you create a new list. And you start executing because you're a little bit motivated here and there, and then something happens and you just don't feel like it. And in the grand scheme of things, what happens is that you have no plan, no rhythm, no reps, and as a result, no result. Pattern number 2, disorganized chaos. You start your day and you live your day by reacting to life instead of leading your life. So maybe you wake up in the morning, you check your screen, you start answering the emails, and you don't really have a clearly outlined plan for what you need to do today, for what you need to do this week, for where you're actually going. You don't have this North Star in your life. Now, if you watched my reality check video and you did what you were required, chances are right now you have that North Star. But if you still don't, well, that's your pattern number 2. You live in disorganized chaos. Because when you continuously react to other people's priorities, to what's happening on your screen, on your telephone, to what your kids say, to what your ex says, to what your boss says, you don't really have any drive in your own life. So you go nowhere. You just react and then react and then react. And then you wonder, why am I living in this chaos? That's why every morning feels like fire, and every night you feel exhausted, yet in the exact same place where you were the night before. Pattern number 3, power drain across domains. So maybe for a time you succeeded in your business and you got some checks and your income statement looks good and you paid some debt, so your balance sheet looks good, but your body became fat and ill. Your relationship with your kids is not really there, and your relationship with your ex and in your dating life is shit. Or maybe you prioritize your kids and finally you build some momentum with your kids, you fix some things, you establish some routines, your home is clean, and now finally you're getting traction, but other domains suffer. Or maybe you started working out and going to the gym, but then your business let go. And you're stuck in these moving sands when one of the foot goes up, the other one sinks. This one goes up, the other one sinks. And over time, overall, your life is sinking. And you just can't get out of this feeling of being stuck. Pattern number 4, you have no feedback loop. You don't track everything, so you can't course correct. You just spiral. And spiral you do. Here's the truth. If you don't track what you do, if you don't track your time, your money, your focus, if you don't track your activities, if you don't track your steps taken towards the realization of your goals, there is no way you can course correct. Imagine you're crossing the Atlantic. Your goal is on the other side, But you never check for the stars, you never check your barometer, you never check for the wind. You just go where the wind brings you. What are the chances you're actually going to cross the Atlantic, and what are the chances you're going to sink and swim with the fishes? See? You get the idea. Now let's address your possibilities. What is possible when you actually implement the right systems in your life? Now, those aren't dreams. Those are real results that you can have. Possibility number one, order over chaos. Well, what does it mean? When you wake up, you already have written a plan for your day the night before, or even 2 nights before. You know what there is to do. Your focus is dialed because you know you're building, you're not reacting. You put your own priorities first, and so here they are, right in front of you on the screen of your telephone in your calendar. Possibility number two, consistency over emotion. This is when you stop chasing motivation and you start executing. Now, whatever there is in your calendar that you pre-planned for yourself because you know where you need to go and you know what you need to do this day, well, now the only thing you need to do is executing, regardless how you feel, regardless of the weather, regardless of what your ex is going to say, regardless of how your kids are going to behave, regardless what you're going to see on the Facebook feed or the political news or the sports news or the business news or the market news. This is what's required in your calendar, and that's what you do with consistency and discipline every day. This is how you make sure there are no fires to extinguish. Instead, you're building a beautiful life for yourself and your family. Possibility number three, integrated growth across the core four. This is when you stop just surviving in one domain, but you start thriving in all four domains and you prioritize everything. You prioritize your body and your being and your business and your balance and relationships. This is when you set productive routines, creative routines, so that you can rise in all of the four domains. And this is when you start rising above the moving sands and start advancing in your life. And finally, possibility number four, insight over guessing. This is when you start tracking your actions, tracking your money, tracking your time, tracking your focus. Where is it going? Is that working for me or is it not working for me? You see, if you don't track, there is no feedback given to you by life and by your results. And so you cannot course correct. But if you start tracking every week and every day, you have a possibility to adjust your sales. You have a possibility to adjust your actions. You have a possibility to improve every day. And so that you can finally know with certainty that you will reach your destination. Destination in your body, destination in your being, destination in your balance, and destination in your business. So that the next day you can pre-plan your calendar, step into action, execute in all four core domains of your life, and track again and hone again. In order to pull this off, you need to understand four core principles. Without the understanding of the four core principles, you're not going to get there. Those possibilities are just going to be a possibility and never become a reality for you. So let's go right into them. Principle number one, and this one I learned from Michael Hyatt, productivity guru. What gets scheduled gets done. You say that your kids are a priority. Show me your calendar. Show me where they are a priority. What's booked for them? You say that your relationship with your ex is a priority. Show me your calendar and show me where did you book the time to take courses in relationship dynamics and communication, to take courses in conflict resolution. You say that your body is a priority. Show me your calendar. Where are you training? Show me your calendar to show me where are you eating your right kind of food. Show me your calendar to show me where are you resting and taking care of your body to recharge. Remember, what gets scheduled gets done. And if it's not scheduled, it's not serious. It's just more of posturing and pretending and blah, blah, blah. Principle number two, you don't rise to your vision, you sink to your systems. Because let's be honest, if you don't have a system to pull this off, you're just doing ad hoc things, well, eventually stress hits, entropy hits, decay hits, some events happen, and then your life is crumbling because you didn't have a system to sustain yourself. And when all of those things happen, you don't perform at your best because you didn't build the reps. You collapse, you disintegrate, and you fail. So I want you to remember that you need to build the structure before life tests you. Principle number three, small daily action lead to immeasurable success over the long run. When you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Olympia, you probably saw some of his movies, he tells you black and white, I was willing to do what most guys never do, the small daily action. It's fucking boring. It's boring to lift weights 6 to 8 times and then repeat, take a break, repeat. And then the next day, what do? You restart lifting weights. It's fucking boring. It's eating the same kind of food every day because food is fuel. It's resting at the same fucking time. It's eliminating all the distractions and all the sedation, all the entertainment. It's fucking boring. That brings success. You ask entrepreneurs, what was the reason for their success? It's doing the same boring shit every day. Having team meetings, having sales calls, having marketing initiatives, writing copy, creating videos, creating content. It's fucking boring. Looking at numbers, doing accounting, doing adjustments, creating a vision, a lot of it is boring everyday shit. But when you do it daily, you build success. Because look, identity is not a speech, it's a system built in quiet, boring reps nobody sees. And I want you to remember that habits aren't small, they're foundational. Fail to build your habits, fail in life. Principle number 4, discipline is not restriction, it's freedom. Let's face the reality here. Most men avoid structure. They think it's a prison. And the reality is that's why they live in chaos. I want you to look at it differently. Structure and systems are the stepping blocks that allow you to rise from the moving sands where you're stuck right now. And once you rise from those moving sands, you can actually look beyond, look there in those moving sands at all of those men who are stuck in there. And have a laugh and think, wow, back in the day, I thought that this chaos that you're living, that was freedom. And the structure was a prison. No, structure is your way out of this prison, out of the moving sand. Because now you stand on solid ground of your systems. If you don't build your systems, you're going to continue staying stuck in this chaos, trying to move one feet, sinking with the other. So I want you to remember, you're not caged by your systems. You're protected by them. So now that we've seen the problems where you're currently stuck, the possibilities where you could be, and 4 core principles of systems building, let's venture into what it actually takes. And I want to give you an acronym here that's going to solve a lot of the challenges for you. As soon as you remember the word PATH, that's going to help you create the right systems for you. What does it stand for? P in PATH stands for plan and prioritize. A stands for allocate. T stands for tracking. And H stands for honing. So let's venture a little bit deeper in each step and what's required from you here. Plan and prioritize. Now, if you've done the reality check properly with homework 2 videos ago, you should have your starting point where you are today, where you're stuck, and where you actually want to be. Well, plan and prioritize is bringing that goal that you're going to have like for a year or for 5 years, bring it to this week. And then looking at it, what do I need to do this week in my body, in my being, in my balance, in my business? What do I need to do? What actions do I need to take in order to get there? Not in 1 week, but progressively over time. So what you do, you plan and you prioritize. You look at your schedule and you look, well, what can I fit? How can I prioritize all of it? How can I plan so that despite all of those circumstances, I can still advance in my life? That's the P. Once you plan, you need to step in A, into allocation. Allocation of what? Well, allocation of your time, allocation of your money, allocation of your resource, of your focus, of your faith, of your energy. Because if you plan, planning is great. Without plan, there is not much that can be done. But if you don't allocate and actually put yourself in action, nothing happens. Nothing happens. And the best plans, they fail. Why? Because you didn't fail to plan. You failed to act on your plan. And so nothing really is happening. Step number 3, T, track. And then you track. How did that work out for you? What you planned, what you allocated, and your actions. How does that play out for you? What went well? What could be improved? What are you going to continue doing? What are you going to stop doing? What you're going to start doing? You track. Track your time. Well, my time went here, here, here. Am I happy with the result? Or maybe I should amend the way I spend my time and invest my time. Well, my money went here, here, here. Am I happy with that? My focus went here, here, here. Was I focused on what serves me, or was I focused on distraction and sedation? And you make a decision. And then you hone. You refine this process over time. Because you don't just build the system and you keep it as is. Life happens, entropy happens, so you need to continuously modify and amend with circumstances. So you hone your planning skills, you hone your allocation skills, you hone your tracking skills, and you hone your path overall. When you do this consistently, week after week and month after month and year after year, there are no limits of the success that you can enjoy in life. In your body, in your being, in your emotional well-being, your connection to God, in your balance, in your relationships, and in your business. No fucking limit. Now, so far, if you like what you see and if you like what you hear, I would invite you to just put in the comments, what is your biggest struggle? Is it with planning? Is it with prioritizing? Is it with allocation? Is it with the tracking? Is it with honing? Put your struggle down below in comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more transformative content such as this one. Because you don't need more motivation. You need a system to protect the man you're becoming. Now that you're in the process of building your power, you can spread that power with your kids, with your co-parent, with your business, with your tribe, with your peeps. And all of this is happening through leadership and communication. And that's what awaits you in the next chapter. Until then, subscribe, like, and comment for more. Take care.